So I arrived to Goiania, Brazil in November 2013, and I left in January 2015. And the mission is huge. It's one of the bigger missions in Brazil, and it actually encompasses 3 different states. So the state of Goiás, Minas Gerais, and, oh, I knew I would forget the last one. Another state that is close in there. And the mission itself, from north to south, is about 20 hours across. So it's a very big mission, and it's right below the Brasilia mission. So the closest temple will be Brasilia, which was recently announced, but the closest temple is Campinas or São Paulo, so they have to travel about 12 hours to get to the temple. I served in 4 different areas while I was there. So I served in Patos de Minas, and while I was there, it was a branch. And since then, it has become a district. So there are 3 branches there. I then served in Uberaba, which was a stake at the time, and it may now be 2 stakes. And then I served in Rio Verde, which was also a district and has since become a stake. And my last area was called Anápolis, and it was a stake when I was there. Goiania itself had 2 stakes when I was there, and recently has become 3 stakes. So altogether, there are 7 stakes in the Goiania mission and 1 district, I believe. So the people in the Goiania, Brazil mission are Christian. They believe in God. They believe in Jesus Christ. There's a lot of Protestants. There's a lot of Catholics there. Some are very active. Some are practice and go to church often. A majority don't. They are not they say they're active, but they don't really go to church very often, except maybe once or twice a year for big holidays. There's also a religion called Espiritismo, which is like spiritualism, and that is a religion that has come from Africa when African people moved to Brazil over the last couple hundred years. And it's kind of a different religion, and you have to be more careful when you are teaching about it, because they believe that spirits can come and talk to you, and they give sacrifices. So you kind of have to be more aware of what you're saying and what you're teaching when you are teaching people of that religion. People in general were very open to the gospel. They loved talking to you. They wanted to know why you were there. They wanted to hear about Jesus Christ. They wanted to hear about what you believed. The hardest thing with Brazilians, and this is probably prevalent in a lot of South American countries, is there's not a lot of follow through. So actually committing to a religion, actually going to church, actually going to be baptized, those things are difficult. And so you have to definitely teach by the Spirit, and you have to be very forward about what the commandments are and how they need to be lived. The Brazilian people, or at least the people who lived in Goiânia, Brazil, they struggle like everyone else, but they like to go to the ranch or the farm or the lake on the weekends. A lot of them probably drink alcohol. Another big problem is not keeping the law of chastity is a really big problem in Brazil. Those are probably the major obstacles that I saw as a missionary. Things that I could have done better: having people go to church longer, saying not just go twice and then get baptized, but going 4, 5, 6 times to really make sure that they wanted to be committed to the gospel and that they were really changing, because so many people fall away from the church in Brazil, especially in my mission. I spent a lot of time chasing after less actives who had been baptized, stuck around for a week or 2, and then they left. So retention is the biggest problem, I would say. I know the first chapel in Goiânia, Brazil was built like 1950s, 1960s, There was a lady in one of my areas. She was the mother of the stake patriarch, and she was the first woman to be baptized in that baptismal font in Goiania back in like the 50s or 60s, so quite a long time ago.